Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Shariyu Varma Chopra and with me is VC Pramod with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hosts first meeting of India Central Asia Summit in virtual format. Stresses on mutual cooperation between India and Central Asia for regional security and prosperity. Air India officially handed over to Tata Sons as disinvestment process completes. Tata Group credits Prime Minister's commitment to reforms. Samajwadi Party releases list of 56 candidates for assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh. Bahujan Samaj Party also releases list of 53 candidates. Apna Dal Sonelal announces 3 candidates. BJP releases second list of 27 candidates for Punjab assembly elections. India marches towards touching 164 crore mark under nationwide COVID vaccination drive. National Drugs Regulator approves conditional market authorization of 2 COVID-19 vaccines, Covaxin and Covishield. Delhi weekend curfew lifted in view of decline in COVID-19 cases, night restrictions to stay. 2 militant outfits, Tiwa Liberation Army and United Gorkha People's Organization, lay down arms in Assam. And in Australian Open tennis, top seed Ashley Barty to take on Danielle Collins in title clash of women's singles. As the number of COVID-19 cases is rising rapidly in several parts of the country, we appeal to our listeners to be vigilant and to get fully vaccinated and help others, including children between 15 and 18 years, get vaccinated. With the new Omicron variant of coronavirus causing concern, please continue to follow these 3 simple steps to stay safe. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, and focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now, the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said Central Asia is central to India's vision of an integrated and stable extended neighbourhood. In his opening remarks at the first India-Central Asia Summit held virtually today, Mr. Modi stated that they have similar concerns for regional security and are concerned about the developments in Afghanistan. He stressed that this mutual cooperation has become more important in this context for regional security and stability.
रीजनल कनेक्टिविटी के क्षेत्र में भारतीय विजन का एक महत्वपूर्ण अंग है जो असगाबाद एग्रीमेंट में हमारी भागीदारी से स्पष्ट है। क्षेत्रीय सुरक्षा के लिए हम सभी की चिंताएं और उद्देश्य एक समान है। अफगानिस्तान के घटनाक्रम से हम सभी चिंतित हैं। इस संदर्भ में भी हमारा आपसी सहयोग क्षेत्रीय सुरक्षा और स्थिरता के लिए और महत्वपूर्ण हो गया है।
The Prime Minister highlighted that there are 3 main objectives of today's summit, and the first is to make it clear that mutual cooperation between India and Central Asia is essential for regional security and prosperity.
आज की समिट के 3 प्रमुख उद्देश्य हैं। पहला, यह स्पष्ट करना कि भारत और सेंट्रल एशिया का आपसी सहयोग क्षेत्रीय सुरक्षा और समृद्धि के लिए अनिवार्य है। दूसरा उद्देश्य हमारे सहयोग को एक प्रभावी स्ट्रक्चर देना है और तीसरा उद्देश्य हमारे सहयोग के लिए एक महत्वाकांक्षी रोडमैप बनाना है। इसके माध्यम से हम अगले 3 सालों में रीजनल कनेक्टिविटी और कोऑपरेशन के लिए एक इंटीग्रेटेड अप्रोच अपना सकेंगे।
Mr. Modi said diplomatic relations between India and Central Asian nations have completed 30 fruitful years. He said this cooperation has received many successes over the past 3 decades and that it is time to define an ambitious vision for the coming years as well. Presidents of Kazakhstan, Kyrgyz Republic, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan participated in the summit.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Presidents of Kazakhstan, Kyrgyz Republic, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan have agreed to take concrete steps for a comprehensive and enduring India-Central Asia partnership. Briefing media after the first India-Central Asia summit, which was hosted by India, Secretary West and External Affairs Ministry Reenat Sandhu said the leaders reviewed the progress made in India-Central Asia relations during the past 3 decades. They also had a candid exchange of views on regional and international issues of interest, especially the current regional security situation. Secretary West said Prime Minister Modi emphasized the importance of setting an ambitious agenda for the partnership between India and Central Asia, taking into account the changing global realities and aspirations of the youth. An important outcome of the meeting today was the agreement among the leaders to hold summit-level meetings every 2 years. The next summit would accordingly be held in 2024. A joint declaration was adopted following the first meeting of India-Central Asia Summit. Air India has been officially handed over to Tata Sons Limited. The Tata Group takes over the management and control of the airline. The transaction covers 3 entities: Air India Express and AI SATS. Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia said it is indeed noteworthy that the disinvestment process of Air India has been brought to a successful conclusion in a time-bound manner. He said this proves the government's ability and resolve to carry out disinvestment effectively in non-strategic sectors in the future. Mr. Scindia extended his best wishes to the new owner, saying that he is confident that the airline will bloom under Tata Sons' wings and pave the way for a thriving and robust civil aviation industry in India. Department of Investment and Public Asset Management Secretary Tuhin Kant Pandey said that the strategic disinvestment transaction of Air India successfully concluded today with transfer of 100% shares of Air India to Thales Private Limited along with the management control. He said a new board led by the strategic partner took charge of Air India. In a statement by the Tata Group, Chairman of Tata Sons Private Limited N. Chandrasekharan said that Tata Group is excited to have Air India back and the group is committed to making this a world-class airline. He said Tata Group warmly welcomes all the employees of Air India to the group. Thales is a wholly owned subsidiary of Tata Sons. In October last year, the government approved Air India disinvestment. The Air India strategic disinvestment transaction has been completed with government receiving a consideration of 2,700 crore rupees from the Thales Private Limited. Tata Group acknowledged Prime Minister Narendra Modi's commitment to reform faith in India's entrepreneurship spirit, saying that this commitment made this historic transition possible. It said that Tata Group agrees with the Prime Minister's vision for the aviation sector of making it affordable and boosting ease of living for the citizen. Chairman of Tata Sons N. Chandrasekharan today called on Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi. The meeting came ahead of the official handover of Air India to the Tata Group.
The process of filing of nominations for the 4th phase of assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh has begun with the issuance of the notification today. Nominations can be filed till 3rd February and scrutiny will be undertaken on 4th February. The last date for withdrawal of candidature will be 7th February. The 4th phase of polling in Uttar Pradesh will be held on 23rd February in 59 assembly constituencies spread over 9 districts, including 16 ACs reserved for scheduled castes. Today was the last day of withdrawal of candidature for the first phase of assembly elections in the state. In this phase, 58 assembly constituencies, including 9 reserved for scheduled castes, will go to polls on 10th February. These constituencies are from 11 districts of Shamli, Meerut, Hapur, Muzaffarnagar, Bagpat, Ghaziabad, Bulandshahr, Aligarh, Agra, Gautam Budh Nagar and Mathura. The second phase of polling in Uttar Pradesh will be conducted on 14th February in 55 assembly constituencies from 9 districts. In addition, single-phase polling in the 2 states of Goa and Uttarakhand will be held simultaneously. 40 seats in Goa and 70 seats in Uttarakhand will go to the polls together in this phase. For this phase, nominations can be filed till tomorrow and scrutiny will be undertaken on 29th January. The last date for withdrawal of names will be 31st January. Counting of votes will be taken up together on 10th March. In view of the prevailing COVID-19 pandemic, the Election Commission has banned physical rallies and road shows till the 31st of this month. Political parties have been advised to conduct their campaign through digital mode as much as possible. Meanwhile, the electoral campaign has picked up momentum for the first two phases, and star campaigners and prominent leaders of various political parties are busy in door-to-door canvassing, as well as virtual appeals to the voters. In Uttar Pradesh, campaigning is on in full swing. Major political parties have entered into pre-poll alliances. The state has a total of 403 seats, where polling will be held in 7 phases from 10th February to 7th March. More from our Gorakhpur correspondent.
Senior BJP leader and Union Home Minister Amit Shah began his visit from Mathura Vrindavan, where he conducted a door-to-door campaign and also interacted with the voters under the party's new initiative, Prabhavi Matdata Samvad. He also held a door-to-door campaign in Dadri Assembly constituency in Gautam Budh Nagar. Later in the evening, Shri Shah also held an interaction with the voters in Greater Noida. Senior party leader Rajnath Singh was in Modi Nagar Assembly constituency in Ghaziabad, where he conducted a door-to-door campaign and also interacted with the voters. Meanwhile, Rashtriya Lokdal Chief Jayant Chaudhary addressed a party meeting in Khatauli Assembly constituency in Muzaffarnagar district. In another development, Aam Aadmi Party has released its manifesto for the upcoming assembly elections in the state. The party has promised to waive off electricity bills, give 300 units of electricity free per month. The party has also promised an unemployment allowance of Rs 5,000 per month and Rs 1,000 per month to women. Aditya Shukla, AIR News, Gorakhpur.
The Samajwadi Party has released a list of 56 candidates for the assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh today. The party has fielded Dara Singh Chauhan from Ghosi seat in Mao district, Ramachal Rajbhar from Akbarpur in Ambedkar Nagar, Lalji Verma from Katehari in Ambedkar Nagar, Ram Govind Chaudhary from Bansi in Balia, and Vinay Tiwari from Chilupur in Gorakhpur district. Bahujan Samaj Party has also released a list of 53 candidates for the third phase of polling in the state. The party has also released a revised list of 6 candidates for the second phase of elections. The party has fielded Mohammad Rizwan from Moradabad seat, Brahmanand Sharma from Bareilly, Shalini Singh from Faridpur, and Yusuf Khan from Nawabganj in Bareilly district. Apna Dal Sonelal has announced its 3 candidates. The party has fielded Saroj Kuril from Ghatampur seat in Kanpur district, Dr. Surabhi from Kaimganj in Farrukhabad, and Ramnivas Marwa from Nanpara seat in Bahraich district. The BJP today released the second list of 27 candidates for the upcoming Punjab Assembly elections. Former Union Minister Vijay Sampla will contest the Phagwada Assembly seat. National Commission for Minorities Chairman Iqbal Singh Lalpura will be the BJP candidate from Roopnagar Assembly seat. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi today said that the party will announce the CM face in Punjab. He was addressing a virtual election rally at Jalandhar. Mr. Gandhi said that he had talked to Charanjit Singh Channi and Navjot Singh Sidhu, and they have agreed to accept the decision of the High Command. He said that the choice of workers will be asked to decide the CM face. The BJP has released its second list of 9 candidates for the assembly elections in Uttarakhand. Party fielded Shaila Rani Rawat from Kedarnath Assembly seat, Pramod Nanwal from Ranikhet seat, Mohan Singh Bhisht from Lal Kuwa, and Jogendrapal Singh Rotela has been fielded from Haldwani Assembly seat in the state. The Congress has released another list of 10 candidates for the ensuing assembly elections in Uttarakhand. Harish Rawat will contest from Lal Kuwa Assembly seat, Mahinder Pal Singh from Ramnagar seat, Yashpal Rana from Roorkee seat, while Anupama Rawat will be the party candidate from Hardua Rural Assembly seat in the state.
The Union Health and Family Welfare Ministry said that more than 163 crore 84 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been administered in the country so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. Briefing the media in New Delhi today, Joint Secretary in the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Love Agarwal, said 59% of the population aged between 15 to 18 years has received the first dose of the COVID vaccine. He said over 97 lakh precautionary doses have been administered so far to the eligible population in the country, and 95% of the population aged above 18 years has received the first jab, while 74% received the second dose of the COVID vaccine. Mr. Agarwal said the vaccination helped in reducing the hospitalization and death rate, as it helps in reducing the severity of the COVID-19 disease.
वैक्सीनेशन के द्वारा हमें सपोर्ट मिला है इन टर्म्स ऑफ लेसर पीपल गेटिंग इन्फेक्टेड, लेसर हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन पीपल हु गॉट इन्फेक्टेड ऑल्सो, और जो लोग हॉस्पिटलाइज भी हुए उनमें लेस सीवियरिटी ऑफ द केसेज, जो कि वैक्सीनेशन के द्वारा सपोर्ट हमें मिल रहा है। तो जरूरी है कि वह लोग जो वैक्सीनेशन के लिए जब भी एलिजिबल होते हैं, चाहे वो फर्स्ट डोज हो, सेकेंड डोज हो, प्रिकॉशन डोज हो या यंग एडोलसेंट हो, उनका अपना वैक्सीनेशन समय पर कराना चाहिए।
The national COVID recovery rate is currently at 93.33%. The Central Drugs Standard Control Organization has now upgraded the permission for Covaxin and Covishield from restricted use in emergency situations to normal new drug permission in adult population. Tweeting about this, Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia said that this has been done with certain conditions. He said that the conditions include supply for programmatic settings, including registration on the CoWIN platform, and to continue to submit safety data on a 6-monthly basis.
Delhi government has decided to ease restrictions in the national capital imposed due to rise in COVID-19 cases. It has decided to revoke weekend curfew and open markets without the odd-even rule. These decisions were taken in the 32nd meeting of the Delhi Disaster Management Authority under the chairmanship of Delhi Lieutenant Governor Anil Baijal today to review the COVID-19 situation in Delhi. In the meeting, it was decided to open all government offices with 100% strength up to grade 1 level, while restaurants, bars and cinema halls to operate up to 50% capacity. However, night curfew from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. every day will continue in the city. Schools will also remain closed in the national capital. Marriage-related gatherings to be allowed to be held with 50% capacity of the venue, subject to a maximum of 200 persons. In our bilingual live phone-in program, Corona Jagrukta series, Dr. Aparna Agarwal, Professor Medicine, Lady Hardinge Medical College, New Delhi, will be with us today to answer the queries related to coronavirus. This live program can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. Listeners can ask questions to the experts on telephone number 011-2342-1230 and 011-2342-1764. You can also post your queries on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.nic.in and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hosts first meeting of India Central Asia Summit in virtual format. Stresses on mutual cooperation between India and Central Asia for regional security and prosperity. Air India officially handed over to Tata Sons as disinvestment process completes. Tata Group credits Prime Minister's commitment to reforms. Samajwadi Party releases list of 56 candidates for assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh. Bahujan Samaj Party also releases list of 53 candidates. Apna Dal Sonelal announces 3 candidates. BJP releases second list of 27 candidates for Punjab assembly elections. National Drugs Regulator approves conditional market authorization of 2 COVID-19 vaccines, Covaxin and Covishield. Delhi weekend curfew lifted in view of decline in COVID-19 cases. Night restrictions to stay. 2 militants outfit, Tiva Liberation Army and United Gorkha People's Organization lay down arms in Assam. And in Australian Open tennis, top seed Ashley Barty to take on Daniel Collins in title clash of women's singles. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
अपने बिजनेस को बढ़ाने के लिए लीजिए आकाशवाणी का सहयोग और दीजिए उसे बुलंदियों के पंख।
आपका बिजनेस लोकल है या राष्ट्रीय, आकाशवाणी देती है उपभोक्ताओं तक पहुंचने का हर विकल्प।
और अब तो आप घर, दफ्तर या दुकान पर बैठे बैठे कर सकते हैं आकाशवाणी के किसी भी केंद्र के लिए विज्ञापनों की बुकिंग।
आकाशवाणी के विभिन्न चैनलों पर विज्ञापन देना सुलभ और सस्ता।
बुकिंग है तो संपर्क करें 870-001-4242 पर।
870-001 4242।
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे।
In news just in, India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage has crossed the 164 crore 35 lakh mark. The Union Health Ministry said more than 49 lakh 69,000 vaccine doses have been administered today. It said more than 1 crore precautionary doses have been administered to the eligible beneficiaries so far. In Assam, two militant outfits, Tiwa Liberation Army and United Gorkha People's Organization, today laid down arms in front of Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma. A total of 77 members of the Tiwa Liberation Army from various districts of Assam surrendered today. On the other hand, 169 cadres of the United Gorkha People's Organization laid down arms. Our correspondent reports that both the outfits deposited 277 various types of arms along with ammunition. The Chief Minister has also given a one-time financial grant to various members of militant groups who have already laid down arms. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the National Cadet Corps PM rally at Karyapa ground in Delhi tomorrow. The rally is the culmination of the NCC Republic Day camp and is held on 28th January every year. At the event, the Prime Minister will inspect the Guard of Honour, review the march past by NCC contingents, and also witness the NCC cadets displaying their skills in army action, slithering, microlight flying, parasailing, as well as cultural programs. The best cadets will receive a medal and baton from the Prime Minister.
The Indian boy Meeram Taron from Arunachal Pradesh, who crossed over to the Chinese side, has been handed over to the Indian side, the Chinese military said today. 19-year-old Meeram was found missing on the 18th of January at Shium La in Bishing area. Since the incident occurred near the LAC, the Indian Army immediately approached the Chinese side on 19 January, asking for assistance in tracing and returning the individual in case he strayed into the Chinese side or the PLA had taken him into their custody. Ahead of budget session of Parliament, Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla has convened an all-party meeting on the 30th of this month to ensure smooth functioning of the House. Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu has also called all-party meeting virtually on the 31st of this month. The government has also convened an all-party meeting on the same day to seek cooperation from all political parties for smooth functioning of the budget session. The meeting will be held virtually in view of the COVID-19 situation. The floor leaders of political parties in Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha have been invited for the meeting. The budget session will begin on the 31st of this month with President Ramnath Kovind's address to both the Houses of Parliament. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will present the Union budget on the 1st of next month. Both the Houses of Parliament will function in shifts to ensure COVID safety protocol. Best wishes to all consumers for Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Hallmark ensures purity of gold. Always purchase Hallmark gold jewelry. For any consumer-related complaints, please contact National Consumer Helpline's toll-free number 14404. Issued in public interest by Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of India, Jago Grahak Jago. The Sensex and the Nifty today tumbled around 1%. Both stocks declined amid negative cues from the global equity markets. The Sensex closed below 57,300 and the Nifty ended near 17,100 level. A report from the Business World.
The BSE Sensex plunged 581 points or 1% to settle at 57,277 and the NSE Nifty lost 168 points or 0.97% to finish at 17,110. The rupee weakened 30 paisa per US dollar to trade beyond 75 rupees per dollar mark. Brent crude prices rose around 1% to trade around $90.70 per barrel. Anubha Rohatgi for AIR News.
The Union Budget 2022-23 will be presented by the Union Finance and Corporate Affairs Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on the 1st of next month in paperless form. The Union Budget 2022-23 would also be available on the mobile app after the completion of the budget presentation process. A Union Budget mobile app was also launched for hassle-free access of budget documents by members of Parliament and the public. This month's Man Ki Baat, which will take place on the 30th, will begin at 11:30 a.m. In a tweet, the Prime Minister's office said the monthly radio program will begin after observing the remembrances to the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, on his death anniversary. This will be the 85th edition of the monthly radio program and the first episode of 2022. Today is the last day to register for the 5th edition of Pariksha Pe Charcha 2022 for students who want to participate in the event. Prime Minister Narendra Modi conceptualized a unique interactive program, Pariksha Pe Charcha, wherein students, parents and teachers across the nation and also from overseas can interact with him. They discuss and overcome the stress emerging out of examinations in order to celebrate life as an utsav. The Union Education Ministry said the format of this program is proposed to be in online mode like in 2021. School students of classes 9 to 12, teachers and parents will be selected through an online competition for the program.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed sadness at the passing away of noted hockey player Charanjit Singh. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said he played a key role in the successes of the Indian hockey team, most notably in the Rome and Tokyo Olympics in the 1960s. He extended his condolences to his family and friends. In Australian Open tennis, top seed Ashley Barty will take on Danielle Collins in the title clash of the women's singles. In women's singles semi-finals played today, Barty defeated Madison Keys 6-1, 6-3, while Danielle Collins stunned Poland's Iga Swiatek with a 6-4, 6-1 victory. Barty is the first Australian woman to reach the singles final of a home Grand Slam tournament since Wendy Turnbull in 1980. In men's singles semi-finals, second seed Daniil Medvedev will meet fourth seed Stefanos Tsitsipas, while world number 7 Matteo Berrettini will lock horns with 20-time Grand Slam champion Rafael Nadal tomorrow.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital, Delhi, will have moderate fog. The minimum temperature will be 6 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 18 degrees. In Mumbai, the minimum temperature will be 19 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 32. The city is expected to have a mainly clear sky. Chennai will have a partly cloudy sky. The temperature will vary between 23 and 31 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will have a mainly clear sky. The city will observe a minimum temperature of 12 degrees Celsius and a maximum of around 21 degrees. Srinagar will have partly cloudy skies. The temperature will hover between -1 and 11 degrees Celsius. Jammu will have mainly clear skies. The minimum temperature will be 6 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 19 degrees. Leh is likely to have generally cloudy skies. Minimum and maximum temperatures will hover between -14 and -2 degrees Celsius. Before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hosts first meeting of India Central Asia Summit in virtual format. Stresses on mutual cooperation between India and Central Asia for regional security and prosperity. Air India officially handed over to Tata Sons as disinvestment process completes. Tata Group credits Prime Minister's commitment to reforms. Samajwadi Party releases list of 56 candidates for assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh. Bahujan Samaj Party also releases a list of 53 candidates. Apna Dal Sonilal announces 3 candidates. BJP releases second list of 27 candidates for Punjab assembly elections. COVID-19 vaccination coverage crosses the 164 crore, 35 lakh mark under nationwide COVID vaccination drive. National Drugs Regulator approves conditional market authorization of 2 COVID-19 vaccines, Covaxin and Covishield. Delhi weekend curfew lifted in view of decline in COVID-19 cases, night restrictions to stay. And in Australian Open tennis, top seed Ashley Barty to take on Danielle Collins in title clash of women's singles. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.